did we get here before 9/11? This is what I was thinking about, was the episode of Rick and Morty where there were snakes, right? Remember the one where they have time-traveling snakes? There's a snake that bites Morty. Morty's pissed. He kills the snake. It kind of fucks up because the snake, like, was in space. It was a space-exploring snake. Morty feels bad, like, maybe I messed up the snake timeline, you know? Like, maybe snakes can't, like, self-actualize as snakes because I, like, scuppered their astro mission. And so then he resolves to go to the pet store and find a snake which yearns for space, which they actually keep in a separate, more highly priced section, which is kind of a fun gag, little throwaway there. And then he ends up sending the snake up into space, which causes the snakes to be aware of, like, other snakes, and then other timelines and other universes, and then they cause, of course, time travel. So then you have all these snakes going back in time trying to kill Snake Hitler, but then, like, the person who's going to kill Snake Hitler gets killed by another person who's going to kill that person, and then they're getting killed by somebody else who's going to kill that person. So the comparison I'm trying to make, which I've almost completely lost the plot of at this point, what was the point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, it was that, what if you did that for 9/11? So a plane appears out of time travel portal and hits the plane that's hitting the plane that's hitting the plane that's hitting the plane that's trying to hit the plane that's trying to hit the tower. Does that make sense? Like, somebody's like, oh no, a plane's going to hit the tower. That's not good. I just realized the light that I'm casting on my face right now is why the color's all wrong on my stream. I apologize. I was setting up lighting for a picture I was taking for TikTok, but that was not calibrated to this space. This color's pretty good. It's very purple. So what I'm doing now is toggling through these, and I'm looking at patreon.com/thirdperson. That's third with 3 eyes, person. And if you go there, this is a public live stream. So you can actually hear what's in my headphones in a second. And I apologize, there might be some flashing lights here in a second. I'm going to do a flashing lights epilepsy warning. I'm going to take us through some flashing lights so I can get back to my orange. Apologies in advance. Actually, no. We're going to sit right here. This will be just fine for tonight. I like this. It's bright, but it's kind of purple. It goes with the black lights behind me. It makes me feel like the whole room is awash in this sort of color out of space glow. One of the only movies I did not make time to rewatch this Halloween season. I think I got through about 50 to 55 horror movies. If you're in the Patreon stream, do fire off in the chat with a horror movie you watched last month. I'd love to discuss horror while we do this. We can also talk about video games or whatever else, but I'm not going to really be watching the TikTok live because I've got a computer right in front of me. I've got my windows just the right size. It's just easier. It's just safer, as D. Reynolds might say. Here's something I was cooking up earlier. Oh no! Is it not catching the input capture anymore? What a bummer. Let me make sure that I've actually got the right master setup on this. And then I set this up. That should be good. Oh no, it's supposed to be receiving. That's why. No, it's supposed to be sending here. That's right. Sending to. Okay. So I've got this streaming software that I'm testing to see if I can get it to play through my ASIO on the stream. And right now, the input capture is saying that it doesn't have it. So I'm going to go into properties here and make sure that I've got the right device. Yep. And I'm going to go into filters and make sure that it's got the plugin. I'm going to open the interface. It's supposed to receive audio. That's enabled. I'm just double checking my connections here. I might have to close and reopen my software. Sometimes that's all it is. That's good too. We'll power the device off, power it back on. That didn't do it. We're going to close out of the app after saving. So the tricky part of doing streaming stuff right is that I've got this interface, which I could use if I wasn't like trying to also self-observe and create a multimedia experience around the music creation process. It's definitely a skill level up to have to consider all of the details of what your studio setup is, making sure your plugins are current, making sure everything's plugged in and working, sounding correctly. But then also, you have this layer of, I need to capture at the point of creation the sound that I'm hearing with little to no latency, and I need to broadcast that simultaneously to a source that's configured for it. And configured for it is the hard part, because if all I was doing was playing audio out of my own computer speakers, I'd be having a much easier time. But I'm not. I'm playing the audio out of my audio interface because I'm plugged in with a couple of microphones, and I have a guitar cable input for when I need that, and I also have my 5.6 dedicated to taking output from my pocket operator devices, right, that play these little beats from Teenage Engineering. The devices are from Teenage Engineering. The beats are from me. I made those shits. I did that myself. I'm very proud of that. What else? I still don't think I have the input capture. I feel like I don't. I don't want to stop streaming just yet, but I'm trying to get this window open, and every time I do this, it has to sit and read through all of my plugins. So I'm wondering if sometimes if I go down here in my taskbar and I fiddle with the volume down there, it resets some things about how the audio runs. But right now, when I make the sound, I don't see the input capture picking that up in the studio setup. And that's a bummer. So I think I do have a fallback. I think I do. Yeah, I think I can hide this. I have an input, but it's just a little noisier. That's better than nothing. So I'm ready to default to that, just so I don't lose momentum on setup things, which is always a bummer. Let's go to -5 on this. Oops. Did I just lose? Oh no, machine I just opened up. Okay. Well, now let's see if we have anything. Oh no, I have to go open the thing that I had, that's why. No, not really. That's open. Is it playing? No, I should totally have... I'm detecting that it's playing audio, but I'm just not hearing it. Let's see. There's audio there. There's audio there. But the ASIO is not picking it up. Fair enough. Okay. I think that I have an option to show hidden. Yeah, unhide all. I had hidden this pink line, but I never unplugged it. Now I think we should have the ability to hear what's going on. Let me see if I can monitor this for a second. Sort of repeating itself. I'm not sure. It might be a little too noisy through the cable. Unfortunately, I might just have to let that ride until I can troubleshoot and figure out what's wrong with the input capture. Maybe. I don't think I can do that though. If I stop the stream, I have to create a whole new stream to start up again. Nah, I'm not gonna do that actually. Because the thing is, if you're following me on Patreon, you know that whatever I capture out of this, it's gonna sound really good when I upload the wave. That's the high fidelity thing. And then if you're doing $3, so it's running a little hot. Let me bring this back a little bit. Let's see where we're at. Thanks for the feedback here. It's always nice when someone's in the chat. It makes it a lot easier. Let me see how that's going. I'm just pegging into the yellow here. Just starting. And let me check my filters on this too. Maybe a slightly higher open threshold on the noise gate. Just 2 dBs. And I'm going to bring the limiter down a smidge, because that might be making it sound too hot. I have my limiter set at a really, really precarious -0.3. And so I just changed that to a -3. How's that sounding now? Let me know. So here's the thing. I work in software, and one thing you learn when you work in software is that there's always a less shitty version of something that exists in your imagination, and simultaneously, the version of something that exists in your imagination is not fucking real, and until you've proven it, how dare you? How fucking dare you? And so what I'm trying to say there is that how could I ever awesome. So are you saying the vocals are too loud, or is there a decent mix? Let me know. But yeah, I think that what I end up fucking around and doing is I'll hop in here and I want to change something, and I will want to completely scrap the first thing that I was doing, right? I have this pink line audio, which I have noisy in all caps in this parentheses, because I'm trying to remind myself, don't use this one if you can, use anything else. But then the one that I have, that I was trying to use, that I set up meticulously, tried really hard to. Ooh, what if I did this? What if I set up a new setup that did the same thing? Yeah, let's play something else as a test. Let's do this. Let's open up this. Oh yeah, let's do a little Jarlsberg. Because this is just the knock rust. Yeah. Third person. I must just trust and not rush, yeah. I must just trust and not rush. I can shine up, brush dust and knock rust. I can shine up, brush dust and knock rust. I must just trust and not rush. I must just look. Mentally unwell, eventually I felt obsessively compelled to try and conquer entropy itself. I meant to be of help. I had hoped to be of assistance, but only meeting resistance, I choked and slipped, and indeed I fell. I'm weak and helpless, full of flaws, inconsistent. I need to redevelop all of existence so I can free myself. I need to flee myself. I need some fleeting self-awareness of the me that I'm seeing when I can see myself. I beat myself into submission over tiny mistakes. Could fix them all with half the time that it takes. The other half could be for sleep, I shouldn't even dwell. I also beat myself into submission over how I beat myself into submission. Witness the precision of a pugilist with no opponent. Boxing myself into a corner, throwing hooks but never towels. I've been about to collapse for a minute now. I need a way to quit this round. I guess I must just trust and not rush, yeah. I must just trust and not rush, yeah. Yeah, that audio's just got some fuzz on it. I haven't really had the time to figure out how to defuzz that signal. I was really counting on this input capture. I can try to grab another one though, maybe. Let's try this out. I wouldn't say that I'm exactly a perfectionist, but if I don't lay it like a master, then the session is fucked. I'm going gray over the gap between what's pending and done. I try to play it off as passion, but the stress of it sucks. The vessel I clutch is half empty and half Henny. Bad memory. I got the work backwards. I'm 6 beers deep, saying I should quit here and sleep, turning my first draft in. Observe madness as I wake up again. Take up the pen, hoping I could change what I've been. But first I gotta get the juices flowing, maybe with gin. I'm in the room alone and making it spin. A loop I hate to be in. Self-sabotage to self-loathing. Witness the rhythm of a fighter deciding to be his own opponent. My flow is stick and move, shit to prove. What if I flip the fugue over to a different groove? What if I must just trust and not rush? I can shine up, brush dust, and knock rust. Yeah. I must just trust and not rush. I must just trust and not rush. Self-empathy quells entropy. Heartfelt energy helps memory. And I can let it be less than everything. And I can set it free if it stresses me. And I can take my time, decide what's mine to say and say what's mine. And as I make it, I can make mistakes, yes. And if I'm breaking, I can take a break, yes. And if I start to speed beyond that, then I can bring it on back, cause I don't need the combat. All I really need are calm moments to see myself as I see myself and see that we are not opponents. I move the work forward, I polish each line until they got the quality shine, and that's a verse for you. I made it cause I meant to be of help, and if nobody's listening, I did it just to help myself, cause I must just trust and not rush. Yeah. I must just trust and not rush. So I've got this set to receive on A. I'm going to set this over here to send on A. See if that kicks something loose. Go internal. No. VST3. No. VST. Restream stay on. Bring up the interface. Identifier is A. Send out a local broadcast. I still see nothing over here. That's usually exactly the moment that I would see some behavior. Receive. noticing that's not fine is that I need a limiter on this. Just something. Not the inflator. Give me some. Well, I guess that's fine. That'll work. Move it over. Maybe. Nope. Didn't. Let's just use an internal limiter. Should set the ceiling. Oh, I see. Yeah, the limit's not getting hit. Just put a basic limiter in there. But anyways, this is the idea: is I'm supposed to be able to take this stream thing, enable it, send it, and receive it. But I think that whatever's stopping the first thing is probably stopping the second thing. One thing I thought of that I haven't tried yet that might work is to turn this off and then on again. Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm also over on Patreon right now, so if you want to actually hear what's happening in my headphones, that's patreon.com/thirdperson. It's a public stream, it's free, so head on over there and check it out too. And I've got a chat on the screen from that, and we're kind of going back and forth trying to get my audio just right, because it's important too. And what I'm trying to do now, that I've got my audio turned back on from my interface, is make sure still got audio there. This should give me something. I might have lost connection on the internet too for a second. Let's see. Oh yeah, and since that was off, I should now have to go into my audio and yeah, unstop this just by reselecting it. That stops that. Hit close. Stop that. Still no audio coming out of there. But yeah, let me know how this PC audio sounds with this different effect that I put on it. Is that still fuzzing out a whole lot? Or does it sound like a more natural implementation of the beat? Hard to say. Let me see if I can hop in and monitor. No, I hear it. It's still really fuzzy back there. I think that actually I might need to do a system reset, because if that's the audio that you're hearing, I think that what's probably happening is that something in my interface is not sending out the audio to like all of the channels, or something in my audio setup, because it's crossed up on this ASIO send, might be creating the fuzz in the signal right now. So what I'm going to do is take off the experimental capture that I had before. I'm going to create a new link and pop it up on the Patreon in a second. We'll figure it out. And then it'll be slightly nicer sounding,